Hey everyone, this is Grixon, and I have a 20 Halls of Atonement that we did, and we timed it with like 4 minutes and change to spare, so it's pretty nice. We did a good job. We had a lot of conversation beforehand, before we got into it, and try to call what kicks we could get. A 20 fortified actually hurts quite a bit. And as a melee, it's very important to be very careful of where these dark blades are, which is right here. Because when they do their deadly thrust, I mean, they can just one bang a melee DPS pretty easily. So, as the tank, the job here is to move from the deadly thrust, but then if you can move back to where you originally were. This way, you can try your best to make sure the melee DPS knows that is where they can't face. Wherever you are, that is where they can't face. So you have to kind of try and do your best to like somewhat stay stationary and then move back, which I try to do a lot of that. So you got to treat this a lot like the in Sanguine Depths, the guys who do the what is it called? It does that like Phantom Blade where it copies where it was last time, and you have to like move out when it happens, but then move back in so it always stays in the same spot. Similar to that. So normally I would do this as one big gigantic pull, but we're still trying to get there. So I'm pulling this in, and it's just a lot of damage. Halls of Atonement is always very heavy damage on a fortified week in the beginning of a key. The whole dungeon is so like, the first 15 minutes of the dungeon is just nutso bananas, and you can get as much efficiency as you want, and it's really like it measures you as a tank. Like how much can you pull and how much can you handle, but then can you also position yourself well not to take deadly thrusts, and can you also have yourself predictable enough to where your DPS doesn't die from it. So I try and grab all this and group it up together. I haven't really messed with my route. This is still my route from last season, and I am trying my best. See, right now Nezo's right next to me, so I'm kind of worried for him, but he actually does see me and runs around the other side. So I take the Dark Blade. See, I made a mistake here. I didn't move back to where I was. So I see a deadly thrust, I just move. I need to plant myself, deadly thrust happens, and move out of the way, and then go back to where I was. So everybody can kind of always understand it's coming from here. Deadly thrust is a pretty big frontal that does a lot of damage. So if you're tanking, try and make yourself as predictable as possible for those. And if you're melee DPS, try and just stay on the opposite side of the tank to the best of your ability. So I pull this stuff kind of slowly. I was a little awkward with it. We attempted a 21. See, he got hit by deadly thrust, and that's because I'm grabbing the stuff and trying to pull back. See, I'm trying to be right here, so that way when deadly thrust is happening, I just move out of the way a little bit and then go back. See, this is kind of like how I'm trying to make this as predictable as possible so people don't just die. As you can see, the DPS is, I mean, the damage to you is real here. See, deadly thrust is going to hit Butter Toast right there, and that was totally on me because I was facing him when it happened instead of in my corner like I'm supposed to. So it's a fine line to walk because you're worried so much about your health, you're worried so much about the pulls and making sure everything goes right. So we decided to grab Stoneborn here. The fights here are kind of rough, and I actually have been pulling all of this together. But I mean, we want the gargoyle for the CDR and the extra damage. See, I really need, I don't have grip yet, and I'm worried about not having aggro on that Houndmaster that's just clapping people. So I still need to grip that Obliterator in there. But all the while, those Gargons are just ticking me. And it's, even like with Link, it's just It's so much damage. You know, until I have my 2-piece, like, or my 4-piece, these fights are going to be very rough. The only thing that can make this easier is just huge damage. So, you know, just big damage can really carry me right now. But until I have my own tier set, I'm really like, I'm going to start hitting a wall pretty soon, especially in fortified weeks. I think that wall or that ceiling gets higher with tyrannical weeks for me. Tyrannical weeks are much easier on a tank, in my opinion, than fortified, especially when you're trying to like push. Like this is our season. This is my season's first 20. A few of the other guys have already done a 20, but this was my first 20, and it was our first 20 as a team. And I wouldn't say Halls of Attonement is the easiest one to make a 20 happen on. And really the biggest detriment is just like all those dark thrusts and then the dogs. You know, I'm very inclined to make a new route where you try and skip as many of those dogs as possible, but I don't know. This route does work, and if you can like fight very doggedly and like control what you can and get out when you're about to get hurt too bad, I feel like it's still a very efficient route and it does well. Like I said, we finished this with 4 minutes to spare. And I think we actually, do we still have a, I think we actually still have a full wipe in this. I'm not sure. I thought we did. No, we don't. It was the 21 I messed up where we had a full wipe. But it is close. See, there's, I have these kind of back over here. I try to face everything away from everybody, but the problem is like, I'm just gonna get out. I'm getting hurt a lot. I have 6 stacks of the bleed. I'm gonna run. And I am line of sighting our healer, which he does kind of panic, but I was still taking dark bolts. So I was trying to just not get hit by the dark bolts. So the problem here, which I think we need to discuss more as a team, is my natural reaction is to take everything away from everybody and then manage the deadly thrust that way. The problem is our enhancement shaman loves to be on the same side as me. I think he's a tank as well, so I think it's just like his natural reaction to do the same thing that I'm doing, like with this tank mobs away from everybody and then manage the deadly thrust. So I think he's like, as a melee DPS, just naturally doing that too without thinking about it. I'm not sure, because he seems to be getting hit by the deadly thrust a lot, and I'm not sure if it's me, you know, like I don't know if I'm positioning the stuff in a weird way that keeps getting him clapped. I'm not sure. Oh man, it's so rough. I was worried about that the loyal beast. I was ready to run. Alright, we have no deadly thrust to worry about here, so I don't have to worry so much about where I'm tanking this. It's just, the name of the game at this point is stacking up enough runic power to have a good death strike in the bank, and then even a follow-up one if I need to. So I need to make sure I have 2 death strikes in the bank whenever I can. Night Fae is very rotationally hard because you're trying to keep up this huge 20% strength buff, and you know, you're trying to keep up this good buff, and it's just very demanding on your it's just very rotationally strict, and it punishes you quick if you have no more runes because you spent it all on hard strikes to maintain this buff. And I'm also hard casting Death and Decay pretty often because I'm using the Unity legendary thing. I actually get 20% strength for 4 stacks of this, which is very, very nice. I mean, if you look at my damage, like I'm consistently maintaining like 10k DPS on these pulls. So, yeah, this was actually rough. Like, we did that first pack and everybody used their cooldowns, and then we do this one and no one has cooldown, so now it's like low damage and the fight just takes much longer with the Halkias shard. So that was kind of an issue on my part. My pulls were weird, I guess. Or I should have communicated that that's what I was going to do first, so we could have maybe had somebody hold a cooldown. Alright, so we have one more scary pull to do, and then it's basically home free. So this is the pull I do. And I'm also considering changing this one too. I try to grab threat on these, and then I bring it into this. And this is what I've been doing, like both, like this, the third season of me doing this. And then everything's kind of a mess. I'm trying to wrangle it up. Watching deadly thrusts, which bolts is in my deadly thrust range again. I don't know. I think we need to talk about it, or I need to do better with it. Because I try and keep everything away from everybody like that. But like I said, as him being a tank as well, maybe it's just natural for him to be in that position. Because if you look, he's pretty much standing right next to me. Right now, he's like standing next to me. So a deadly thrust is going to smack him. So I'm not in any super danger here. I'm just running away. So I just kind of ran away to be safe. I almost do die though. I need to get all this wrangled up again. Let me get another spirit link, which is always cool. Alright, I'm grabbing the Stoneborns, and I'm the one grabbing them, so our dude doesn't, you know, I don't want him to grab it himself and take a bunch of auto attacks on a fortified weak and then just, like, you know, get destroyed. So, yeah, I was trying to think about the relic at the same time, and I'm thinking about, okay, how am I going to deal with the swirlies at the same, like, swirlies together? Like, the smack happens and then that happens. I don't know, sometimes I get a little too inside my head and a little stressed about it. So I end up, instead of doing one decisive thing, I do like a half of two things, and it ends up just not being good. You know? I don't know. You know, did I lose aggro on the shard? Did that just happen? Jeez. I think I lost aggro on the shard. So I'm going to try and stack this back over here. So if you look at my raid ability timelines, I always know when beams are about to happen, so I know to run away to let, you know, the team have enough room. So that's kind of like the plan, is I'm watching when that's going to happen. I try and stack these up good, and then so we have a heap debris. We have one more slam about to happen, and then it should be beams now. So I'm just going to put him on top of his own little thing here. Yep. And then we're good. I accidentally got a little too close. He has a pretty big hitbox, so you definitely don't need to stand that close. But like I said, we're trying to time our first 20. My mind is just all over the place, and I'm not... You know, it's just a video game, and I need to do better at just like running my route, playing my game. But I get so like, I'm trying to think steps ahead. I'm trying to worry about what cooldowns I have, which ones I'll have for the next pack. Like, okay, if I pop this, this, and this, I'll have this for the next pack. My brain's trying to think about so many things at once, all while handling my own rotation. And just, I don't know, I end up, when it's a stressful situation, I end up just like overthinking things and then just fundamentally messing small things up that I would never like mess up. I'm sure that's probably happened to some other people in here. It's on me. I blink out so I don't get the debuff. But unfortunately that means that he got... It was just a very unfortunate timing to where I blink out, the Dismantler follows me, and then puts a swirly right on our ranged caster. That's just how this affix is this, you know, this time. But yeah, once we have some tier sets going on, I don't see why we wouldn't be timing. You know, I definitely see us doing like 25s this season. You know, maybe even higher. We'll see. Like, as we all get our tier pieces and stuff, like if we're doing this well this early in the season, you know, I think the future is pretty bright for us. So I missed one there. So I think one's still gonna get up. Oh, maybe not. I guess I did get them all. This is one thing that's really nice about being Necrolord, is just being able to like grip all these. So I did get that shattered dot, but at this point he's pretty much dead, so we're just gonna finish him off. Alright, so we need a hex this inspired guy. Cool. Now I just need to grab. I accidentally grabbed the wrong thing. Okay, no, it actually did pull everything. I was afraid it didn't. Jeez, dude. It's so crazy, the damage. And then when Dismantler comes in, when he was deconstruct on you, you take 20% increased damage from all sources. So, yeah, when you have deconstruct on you, you just gotta be ready for some burst damage that you weren't taking a second ago. So yeah, we're just watching out for little beasts. Stuff is pretty much dead, so I'm just gonna get in here. Dogs are not great, and dealing with this many of them, like obviously you're taking bleeds. Dancing Rune Weapon really helps with that though. Jeez, my freaking Codex, the first technique, is doing work. It's reflecting back some serious damage. And I actually almost messed up here once I finish this pull. So it's almost dead, so I run. And I'm trying to grab these guys, but it didn't grab the affix. So I had to run back, pretty much die, use rocket boots to get back fast. So when you do that, it doesn't all pull together. Or if it does, you have to grab the affix to pull all of them. But either way, just try your best not to do that part. Okay, now we have Deadly Thrust to worry about. So we have to be in a spot where we're not going to put Deadly Thrust on people. And right now I'm putting on Buttered Toast. So I'm trying to find a good spot to hold up. And then just listen for Deadly Thrusts. Alright, so I got them both right here, so I do see them. But one issue... Okay, there's Deadly Thrusts. I get out of the way. It's fine, and I go back. Deadly Thrust coming out. Move out of the way. Try and come back. I'm probably going to eat that one. Nope. Alright, now we're good to go. So he wants to tank he wants to grab him at the top of the stairs, which is completely fine. They just hit hard, that's all. So, but it's just, we want the max time on them as possible. Alright. Of course, Dismantler is back up again. Yeah, I have Deconstruct on me, so I'm going to take a bunch of extra damage. So normally when the ghost comes out, you want to move the boss with the ghost, so that way the melee who has it, if it's a melee, can keep auto attacking, like keep hitting. But because I had Dismantler at the time, I kind of didn't want to drag it with me and then put like the swirly on everybody. So that was kind of like a decision I made there. Oh, sorry, excuse me if I drink some water here. Man, these swirls are just all over the place. I'll just not do it. Yeah, so this boss, very easy. No real danger in this boss. As long as you get the kicks, you're fine. So we're talking right now about just getting the affix out of the way, because the problem was is last time we split up and started attacking things, and then the affix was just up the whole time and was just blasting, and then we ended up getting Vi, and people were getting hit by the you know, the magic, the cosmic pulse he does. It just was a bad time. So we're just killing Dismantler right now and then going to the different spots to kill stuff. So we pretty much put the ghosts or the souls on hold until we could blow up the CDR guy. And I took Purgatory with me. And I didn't actually pop Purgatory this dungeon, so it would have been much better to have Red Thirst. It's a nice safety net, and I mean you can use it like every 4 minutes. So, you know, if I was doing a 21 or a 22, I would probably definitely be taking Purgatory. But I think at a 20 level, I think I'm pretty safe to just use Red Thirst, especially on a Tyrannical week. I think I should be really safe. I mean, assuming it's not like Necrotic. But actually, no, even on Necrotic, I would still take Red Thirst. Necrotic just means I have to run more often. Okay. So at this point, we have a lot of time left in the bank. And it's just kill this guy, then kill last boss. Yeah. Not much to say at this time, aside from maybe I can do my little filler I always do, where I say, you know, if you like the video, please like it. It helps me out. I'm a small YouTuber, but I am getting followers. If you're not followed, I would like it if you would. Of course I would like it, but yeah, I kind of just do this for fun. You know, it's been a good time analyzing the gameplay, especially as a team now. Looking to see where I could get better. Hopefully you guys can learn something too with me. And there's been plenty of times in the comments where someone said, actually, this is how it works. And I've learned really cool things from people just watching and then commenting like, this is how you could do this, or this is how this works. It's pretty awesome, actually. Alright. Here we go. We're gonna take down Dismantler fast because you don't want to have swirlies going on when you have to stack for you know, the ritual of woe. You don't want to have him up during that. If he puts a swirly there and everybody's stacked up trying to soak this thing, it's gonna be a bad time. So we're doing AMZ and just Healing Tide Totem. And the next time we're gonna do why do I want to say Ring of Peace? That's not what I'm talking about. Spirit Link Totem next for the next soak. Yeah, with the Belt of Unity having this Night Fade power, you can just have 4 stacks like all the time. It's really nice. And then with that, unless I let it fall off right now. Okay, it didn't. You're just having 20% increased strength like all the time. As long as you just keep that buff up, it's 20% increased strength. Which is pretty awesome actually. Of course, you can use Anti-Magic Shell to... or Anti-Magic Shell, Anti-Magic Shield, whichever it is. You can use that to stop the application of Stigma of Pride. Oop. And then I messed myself up there. So you pop AMS, and then you don't get the Stigma of Pride debuff on you. Stigma of Pride is bleed damage, but you can stop it with AMS. I don't know. So yeah, we timed it. Yeah, 4 minutes and 9 seconds. Pretty cool. Alright guys, it's been another video. Of course it has. It's been another... yeah, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm awkward. I appreciate it. I'm going to do the DPS and HPS breakdown right now. And then with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you being here. And I'll have plenty of more content for you. My next video after this should be my routes guide. So just all of the routes I play, like I've been doing. I actually did 7.7k. Wow. That's pretty nice. Then 11.1k heals. Alright. Thanks again. I'll see you guys later.